Hello, and welcome to the fourth video lecture of Principles of Marketing. In today's video lecture, we shall be discussing about scope of marketing and difference between marketing and sales. That is, what is the difference between marketing and sales? So let us start with today's video lecture. We start with scope of marketing. Now, what do you understand by scope of anything? Scope of anything means what all areas it covers. Okay, so what all areas does marketing cover? In one of my previous video lecture, I had discussed about various things that can be marketed. I had said that anything that has value can be marketed. So what all things can be marketed? We have seen goods, for example, Colgate, Close Up. So all these things can be marketed. Similarly, services, for example, services of a repair person, plumber, electrician. So these can be marketed. Similarly, legal services of an advocate, they can be marketed. Also, experiences in the sense, suppose if you want to go for a tour, Europe tour, or maybe SL World, so this is an experience which you will get. Water park, Kolhapur water park, for example. So these all things are experiences and they can also be marketed. Similarly, events, for instance, some fashion show, which Lakme fashion show, or maybe the IPL that is going on these days. These are sporting events or fashion events that are marketed. Similarly, persons. See, people these days have become brands. Take it for example, Donald Trump, politicians, or maybe even Narendra Modi, or anything. These people are have become brands. There are many people who keep on marketing these people so that they tell them what is to be told, what should not be spoken, and all these things. How should they behave? What should be their clothing like? What are the things they should touch on, that is touch on in the sense subjects that they should touch on when they are speaking, and what are the things they should not speak. So all these things when they are saying, so they are trying to create brands out of people. So people can be marketed. Similarly, for example, a chartered accountant or a doctor, well-known doctor, many people say that I want to get operated from a particular doctor. Why this happens? Because that doctor is quite famous. Why is he famous? Because here probably they have marketed him in a better way, his marketing team. Similarly, places can be marketed. We have seen through Truly Malaysia ads, Incredible India ads. So these kind of places, like places in India also, like Varanasi, Haridwar, or any other places, Mysore, Ooty, Kodaikanal. So all the Shimla. So these places are marketed. Rajasthan, for example, is doing quite a good thing in tourism. Goa, for example. So these places are also marketed. Similarly, properties, like for example, if a real estate owner wants to sell properties, he tries to develop his land and then he tries to market his property. Similarly, organization, we have seen, like schools, colleges give advertisements for admission open. They try to market their colleges or educational institutes. Similarly, training institutes, they also try to market these themselves. Then information, for example, websites like Bloomberg, who are into information providing on internet, they try to give market themselves. Then ideas, for example, any idea, like for example, social change that has to be brought in, or quit tobacco kind of thing. So this kind of ads which are there, actually these are an idea that has been that will be incepted into your minds through marketing, that this kind of things can also happen. So these are the things that can be marketed. Along with that, there are certain functions that a marketer performs, and all these functions also come under the scope of marketing. So apart from these things that can be marketed, so what I have done in this slide is I've divided scope of marketing into things that are can be marketed and the functions that are performed by a marketer. So basically three types of functions are been done by a marketer. The first one is the function of exchange in the sense, In marketing, you are going to sell ultimately a product and the buyer is going to purchase it. So there is an exchange of value. A monetary amount is paid to the seller, whereas the buyer receives a product. So, in short, there is something like buying and selling happening. There are some instances, like for example, assembled computers. If you have purchased anytime, you might get to know that these people purchase spare parts of various companies, assemble them together, and then they sell it under their own brand name. So assembling is also one of the function of exchange. So we have three functions of exchanges. First one is buying, the second one is assembling, and the third one is selling. So these are the three functions of exchange. The second function that we are studying under scope of marketing is the function of physical supply. See, products are manufactured in a factory. Now customer cannot go to the factory and purchase these products. As I told you in one of my previous video lecture, that if you want to purchase a Chinese made item or a Chinese made mobile phone, you cannot go with a packet in your hand to China and purchase the item and come back to India. It makes no sense. In fact, what happens is the inventory management that is taken care by the Indian company here, that they import these products from China, they store it in their warehouses, godowns, and then they distribute it to various places in India so that it becomes available for the customers to purchase in a retail quantity, that is in a small quantity. So, what are the functions of physical supply? One is transportation, that is transportation of products from one place to the other place, maybe from the factory to the various stores around India. So you can say, or maybe around the globe also, if you are into international marketing. Then we also have storage, that is how and how much and what has to be stored, that comes under inventorying or inventory management. And lastly, warehousing, that is go down. So storage and warehousing talks about inventory management, and go downs, how you are gonna store your products and what all things you are gonna store, how much you are gonna store. So all these things has to be decided in storage and warehousing. Then the third function of marketing that we are studying is the function of facilitation. Now under this we have various things. The first one comes is the product planning, design and development. Now whenever you are trying to come up with a new product or an modification to an existing product, what you have to do is you have to plan your product in a proper way. How can you plan your product in a proper way? You can do market research. So the second thing that you have to do, what is this market research? Market research is researching the market. What do you mean by researching the market? Researching the market means getting data or information from the market. Now suppose there are few varieties of chocolates that you have launched, your company has launched in the market. Some are doing well, some are not doing well. But how will you get to know that some are doing well and some are not doing well? Or customers who are coming, they are coming and purchasing a particular variant of your chocolate. So how will you come to know this? You'll come to know only when you collect information or data from the market. And how do you collect information from the market? After collection of that is through market research. And in market research what you do is you collect information, you analyze it, and you make some marketing decisions based upon the data that you have collected. So that is marketing research. Once data comes, you can plan your product. Suppose if you want to launch a new product or you want to do any modification in the existing product, so you can redesign the product, and you can talk about product development in new product development. Okay, Then next thing is market planning. Again, market research data is very important when you are talking about market planning. Market planning also talks about your four P's, your segmentation, how you're going to segment the market, what should be your four P's, that is product, price, place, and promotion. Strategies that you're going to follow. Are you going to give discount at the beginning? Are you going to start with a very slow or low level pricing, or are you going to start with a very high level pricing at the start? So these all things when you're start talking about. And which geographical market should you penetrate first, or which all market should you go to market your product. So all these things when you are talking about, or when you are trying to deciding, it comes under market planning. Then comes is product or service standardization. Now see this, suppose if you go outside India sometime and you purchase a Coke, that is Coca Cola, in US. Sometimes later on, after few days, maybe you are on a tour and you go to say Canada, you purchase a Coke there. You move to Mexico, you purchase a Coke there. You move towards Middle East, you purchase a Coke there. You come to Southeast Asia, Thailand, Malaysia, countries, Indonesia, you purchase Coke there. You go to Pakistan, you purchase a Coke there. uh, and when you are not only purchasing, you are also consuming, suppose Coke. And you come back to India and you purchase Coke and consume in India. Do you find any difference in the product, that is Coke, when you are drinking it? No, there is hardly any difference in the taste, in the bottle design, everything, color, flavor, everything, the fizz nearly remains the same everywhere. Why? Because Coca Cola has standardized its products. Standardization of products or services means uniformity in the products or services. Why this is to be done is, suppose if you are into global marketing, it makes sense that you give similar kind of products to all the countries. Why this happens is because we are moving towards a global economy, and we are moving towards a place, or a time where all the preferences, the tastes, the opinions of people are coming towards a similar kind of thing. Everyone is becoming quality conscious. So if you're giving good quality products, suppose for example, Apple products in the US, Apple products in India are nearly the same. And they, in fact, they are being launched nearly at the same time. So what is happening is, you are providing uniform products. It becomes easier for marketing people to market these kind of standardized products. So standardization also is very important. Then comes our four P's, that what I was talking about: product, price, place, promotion. So that is product branding, product pricing, product placing, that is product selling and distribution. Place means distribution, remember. And promotion means promoting the product. So basically you are branding the product, first one. So product branding, what does it product branding means, or what does a brand mean? Now brand means, it can be a name, it can be a logo, it can be a symbol, it can be a picture, it can be a song, it can be a jingle, anything it can be, which differentiates your products from that of your competitors. So it should identify that it has been manufactured by you. Suppose if you go to a shop to purchase, say, what rice, hmm, your mother might say you have to purchase rice, 1 kg rice of 46 rupees or 50 rupees, which you had purchased last month. How sure are you to find out the same rice packet this time also, whether the rice you are purchasing is the same company's rice or same rice which you had purchased last time also? It can, you can be sure only if you see the packaging. So that is nothing but the branding, name of the company that has manufactured. So basically what it means is, branding is, it identifies the producer or manufacturer, or at least the marketer of the product. And what it does is, it differentiates your product from that of the competitor's product. So in this case, what happens is, brand can be anything. It can be name, for example, Tata Salt. When you listen, or when you read this name Tata Salt on salt, you can very easily say that it is from the Tata group. Also, it is different from Annapurna Namak. Then it is different from any other salt packaging. Then you also have next one is product pricing. So product pricing, what does pricing mean? Pricing means to give an amount or attach a monetary amount to the uh, product that you are gonna market. So product pricing also very important aspect. We'll see in detail, these are there in further modules. All branding, pricing, selling and distribution, everything is there in detail in the coming modules. So this is just an introduction to this. So product selling and distribution, this is placing. So placing actually means you're distributing the product. Now how are you gonna distribute your product? Your company, see, any product, you go to your kirana shop, whatever product he is selling, he is not producing it, he is purchasing from a wholesaler. Then wholesaler, is he purchasing? No, he is purchasing from a producer or a manufacturer. So what is happening is, manufacturer is producing the product, he is selling it to the wholesalers, then he is selling it to the retailers, and then from the retailers you are getting it. So this is a chain of retail or distribution channel. So this is what is happening, and through which these products get distributed and ultimately reach you. Then comes sales promotion. There are promotions that happens many times during festival season. You might have come across Flipkart sale, Amazon sale, big billion days, big Indian shopping festival, and this discount, that discount, offers you might get, rebates you might get, offers like for example buy one get one free. So these kind of offers, discounts, rebates, whatever you are getting, or sometimes even contests. For example, Paytm comes up with contest, this contest, that contest, there will be a lot of contests and lucky draws everywhere. So these all things are nothing but part of sales promotion. They are trying to increase the sales and promote the sales. So this is also one of the scope of marketing. Similarly, packaging and labeling, I have already told you about 4 P's, that is product, price, place, promotion. In fact, packaging is now coming up as one of the major P, uh, along with these 4 P's. That is the fifth P, we can say, if possible, that is packaging. Packaging and labeling also plays a vital role, especially in a time when our organized retail, that is malls, supermarkets like Reliance Fresh, more, Big Bazaar, DMart, this is increasing. So at that time, packaging is playing a vital role, especially for people who are purchasing any item or a brand for the first time. They do not know much about the product because they have not used it. So probably their decision will lie only based upon packaging and the MRP, that is the price. So these two things are there what they will decide. Similarly, it happens in online retail also, online selling. So because they cannot touch, see or feel the product in online retail, so what happens is, the customers go based upon the packaging, so and labeling. So that is nothing but packaging and labeling. And lastly, customer support and service. Customer support and service is also very important. Why? Because customer, suppose how to suppose if you're selling an insurance, and the customer has any doubt in insurance, or he wants to renew his premium online, so he needs certain help. He might call the customer support or customer care number and get his problem solved. Similarly, customer service also. Suppose if you have a washing machine, you have purchased a washing machine, you do not know how to install it initially. So the person from the company will come to your place the next day. He will install the washing machine for you, provided you have the plumbing connections, and then he will, this way he will give you service. Suppose if you have any problem with your washing machine later on, so you can call the number they have given and ask for customer support or customer service. So this also is very important, because these days there's a lot of revenue that is generated by companies, not through sales but through services. So this is the scope of marketing, clubbed under 3 functions of market done by marketer. The next thing is, we have talked about marketing, but what about sales? Is there any difference between marketing and sales? Yes, there is a difference between marketing and sales. So what are these differences? Let us see one by one. Marketing focuses mainly on the customer's needs. So what is the focus of marketing is, what do the customers actually need. So that is what marketing tries to find out, and based upon that it tries to satisfy the needs of the customer. Now, sales. What does sales do? It focuses on the seller's needs. What is the seller's needs? The seller's need is to sell the product at the highest cost possible, that highest price possible. So that is the seller's needs. So it is focusing only on selling of the product, not on the customer's needs. I'll give you an example, a practical example. Suppose you are there on a hot summer day, standing on a bus stop, and you have got thirsty, suppose. So what are the things that you can purchase? What are the things that can quench your thirst? First one, you can have water, you can have tea, you can have coffee, you can have cold drink, you can have uh, say ice cream, you can have fruit juice, or anything like these things you can have. Now you so your need is to quench your thirst. Okay, then remember this is a important concept which we are discussing later also in this model. Your need is to quench your thirst, that is you have to satisfy your thirst. And how are you going to satisfy your thirst? These are your options that you have with you. So you can go with any one or maybe a combination of these options. So what does marketing focus on? Marketing focuses on the needs of the consumer or needs of the customer. What does the customer need? He wants to quench his thirst. So he will try that is the company will try to satisfy his need based upon what does the customer need. Whereas sales does not work like that. Sales, they already have certain products and they will say that this is the product that you have to purchase and this is the product you purchase. They will try to push that product to the consumer, and they will try to sell the product. So the focus is here in sales is selling, whereas in marketing it is more concerned about customer, the customer's needs, and where they will try to satisfy the needs of the customer. So let's move ahead. Customer enjoys supreme importance in marketing. Yes, because whenever any product is designed, any product is developed, the customer's needs, wants, desires are taken into consideration. His opinions, point of view, his attitudes towards certain things are taken into consideration, and based upon that, a product is developed and then marketed to the consumer. Whereas in sales it does not happen that way. Sales, product enjoys supreme importance in sales. So product is more considered to be more important, not the customer. So product is there that has to be sold of. That is what salespeople think, or sale the what to say, the ideology that of sales works. Then product planning and development, which happens in marketing, is to match products with markets. That is, whatever is the need of the customer, that is identified, and based upon that products are developed. In sales it is nothing like that. In sales, products are already available, goods are already available with the seller. Now he will put pressure on his employees to sell it. You might have seen insurance agents trying to sell you policies, or many times bank employees calling you on your number, and they telling you, asking you to take loans or give FDs or anything like that. So they will try to sell you their financial products to you. Whether you need it or not, that is not their concern. They have these products already and they will try to push or dump these products to you. So this is what happens in selling. In marketing, it converts customers needs into products. Customers needs are understood and products are developed based upon that. Whereas in sales, it converts products into cash. They are only concerned about converting the products which they already have into cash, that is after selling, collect the cash from the customer. In marketing, what happens is profits through customer satisfaction. See, once customer is satisfied, he will come back to you because his needs were very well satisfied by you. So he will keep on returning back to you again and again. And this way, you will not only generate profits for this time, you will generate profits for a long time. So this is what happens in marketing, whereas in sales, profits is generated through sales volume. So customer satisfaction is takes a back seat, and sales volume, how many products you are selling, how much amount, how many what's the amount of product that you are selling, quantity of product that is being sold, that takes the front seat. In marketing, consumers determine the price. Price determines the cost. So what does it means? That is, consumers, for example, many times we might say that I want to purchase a mobile phone in a budget of 10,000 rupees. So they say they fix the budget, consumers, and they say that I want this, I want that, I want this feature, I want that feature. So based upon this budget, what is the best thing that the companies can give them, that is give to the customers, that is what companies think. So when consumers first fix the budget, and based upon that budget, companies are trying to develop their product, it is nothing but marketing. And whereas in sales, cost determines the price. So cost, why? Because you first develop the product without taking into consideration what the customers actually need, and then you have fixed cost, you have had a fixed cost to develop that product or to produce that product. Now you'll add certain profit to it and you'll try to sell it. So cost determines the actual MRPL. And lastly, in marketing, it is said that caveat vendor, that is, let the seller be aware. That is, seller has to be aware about any misadvertisement or anything like that, or the seller has to take care of everything. Whereas in sales, it says caveat emptor, which means let the buyer be aware. So that is, the buyer has to take care. We are selling the product, the buyer has to read all the instructions, guidelines, terms and conditions, and he has to purchase the product from us. Whereas in marketing, it does not happen that way. In marketing, the seller itself has to be aware. Hmm. So with this, we complete today's video lecture. I hope you have understood this today's video lecture regarding scope of marketing and the difference between marketing and sales. If you have any doubt, you can contact me on my WhatsApp number.